May 1st, 2024. A young woman boards a flight in Gainesville, Florida, halfway across the country to St. Louis, Missouri. She isn't visiting family. She isn't on vacation. She's here to collect something, and she has no idea the FBI is already waiting. At the airport, a man is waiting with a rented car. He drives her across the city and stops in a parking lot near a quiet residential street. And here the plan gets strange. She doesn't walk the final distance. She doesn't take his car either. She orders a rideshare for the final short stretch. Why would anyone fly across the country, ride in a private car, and then switch vehicles just minutes from the door? One likely reason: the last car is the one a camera might catch. That morning, she steps out at a house in St. Louis. She never makes it inside. Federal agents intercept her at the door. What was she there to collect? $250,000 in gold. To understand how a stranger ends up at an 82-year-old woman's door expecting gold, rewind to where it started. Inside that house lives an 82-year-old woman. One day, she's contacted by someone claiming to be computer software support. The pitch is urgent. Her financial accounts have been compromised. The record shows what they told her to do next: open new bank accounts, wire money overseas, and buy roughly $250,000 worth of gold bars. Now pause, because precision matters here. The record says she was told to buy gold. It never confirms she did. So in this story, you won't see gold in that house. Everything else in this story is in the record: federal prosecutors, a grand jury indictment, sentencing in open court. And what the record describes is not one scammer. It's a supply chain. At the top, overseas call centers, the voices on the phone. In the middle, handlers here in the United States. The record names them Chintan Kumar Parekh, Mehul Kumar Darji, and Sital Singh. At the bottom, couriers, the hands that show up at your door. Dahri Ofna Lambert and Jamonique Stevens, both in their 20s. Couriers picked up gold bars and coins from victims. Handlers collected the gold and paid the couriers in cash. This one operation reached victims in 10 states. The government says the scheme netted $9.3 million. One elderly couple in their 90s lost their entire life savings. So on May 1st, when Dari Osna Lambert flew to St. Louis, she wasn't improvising. She was a working part in a machine. Parekh rented the car. Parekh drove her to the parking lot. And when agents intercepted her at the door, the indictment says she got one message out on WhatsApp. A single word: police. Parekh fled to Pittsburgh. It didn't save him. All 5 pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. 4 years in prison for the handlers, Parekh, Darji, and Singh. 2 years for Lambert. 18 months for Stevens. And on top of prison, $6.6 million in restitution ordered against Singh. Case closed. But here's the uncomfortable part. This was one cell. The FBI has warned about exactly this structure: remote contacts, handlers, and couriers forming a physical chain. Step 1, the hook. A pop-up, a call, an email. Tech support, your bank, even government agents. Step 2, the escalation. You're transferred to someone more official who says your money is at risk. Step 3, the conversion. They tell you to turn savings into something physical: cash, or gold. The FBI's own alert spells it out. Step 4. The pickup. A courier comes to you, sometimes carrying a pre-arranged code word so the handoff feels official. Why gold? One likely reason: it moves value without banks. Hard to trace, hard to freeze. Once it leaves your hands, it's gone. And the scale of this is not small. In the FBI's latest annual report, gold courier schemes drew roughly 725 complaints in its latest year of data. Reported losses: $311.8 million. Careful with what that means. Complaints, not confirmed victim counts. Reported losses, not audited totals. And it sits inside something bigger. Americans over 60 reported $7.7 billion in fraud losses in a single year. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember one rule: no real business and no real government agency will ever tell you to buy gold or hand cash to a courier. The moment you hear it, it's a scam. No maybe about it. So here's the protocol. 1. Stop contact. Hang up. Don't call back the number they gave you. 2. Never move money because a caller told you to, not to a safe account, not into gift cards, not into gold. 3. Verify independently. Look up the real number yourself, your bank's card, the agency's official site, and call that. 4. Bring in someone you trust before you act. Scammers work in secrecy and urgency. Break both. 5. Report it, even if you feel embarrassed, even if no money moved. IC3.gov for the FBI. Reportfraud.ftc.gov. Reports are how patterns like this one surface, and how the next courier gets met at the door by agents instead of a victim. Someone in your life is the exact person this playbook targets. Send them this video. It might be the phone call it interrupts. Scam Defense Lab. Stay skeptical.